up if you just stay up all night. Former Sooner needed help getting back up. That's Napier. He's the current Sooners quarterback, taking on the 22nd ranked Auburn Tigers. That dude was open. Isaiah Satania is in for the touchdown, beginning of a big day for those two. And then this drew the attention of the Southeastern Conference. It appears to be what's called a hideout tactic.
Trickeration.
Yep, the pass was complete, and perhaps it shouldn't have been. The NCAA football rule G2, Article 2, no simulated replacements or substitutions can be used to confuse an opponent. Should have been a 15-yard penalty. It was not. It was impactful, however. That is Jackson Arnold, former Sooner, looking deep. We got a penalty because OU's Cortland Guillory taking another look, just tugging on that jersey for Cam Coleman, and that jersey has plenty of crimson on it already. So first down, OU 4. Malcolm Simmons is into the end zone. Auburn has a 1-point lead. Tigers just 1-9 under Hugh Freeze against AP-ranked teams. This would have been massive. It was not, because Napier continues to deal. That to Satania, that ball was out. You saw it, right?
Yeah,
you saw the 6-7. Right. You saw the referee get it. 6-7. No, that thing went out of bounds, and they ruled it a complete pass. Hugh Freeze is apoplectic. 31-yard gain. The Natier's going to punch it in. 10th straight game with a passing touchdown and a rushing touchdown for him. Ties Lamar Jackson.
Heisman favorite.
Third longest streak last 20 years, and Lamar famously won a Heisman. All right, here's Grayson Halton laying a. How about Halton catch these hands on Arnold inside the 5-yard line? The last time an SEC team had 9 sacks, Ole Miss against Oklahoma. The Sooners got 9 last night, and that safety right there, that was impactful for the line. Closed the ESPN bet at 6.5 points, pushed it to a 7-point dub. Good teams win, great teams cover. Oklahoma 24-17.
Look at Randbear getting some ESPN bet knowledge in there. Love it. More Big Ten action, or I should say Big Ten action. Illinois, Indiana, number 9 versus number 19. First quarter, no score. Illinois punting when D'Angelo Pons does it all himself. The block, the scoop, the score. Don't get tackled by the punter either, D'Angelo. Brett Beelan was stunned, down 7-0. It's a 7-7 game when Fernando Mendoza throws the screen out to Omar Cooper Jr., who busts some tackles to get into the end zone. Indiana up 14-7. Second quarter, same score. Indiana 3rd and goal. Fernando Mendoza's a name you got to start to get to know, because he might be right up there with Napier in the Heisman race. A touchdown pass to E.J. Williams Jr., then a screen to Riley Nowakowski, who takes it to the house. Indiana hangs 63 on Illinois. Mendoza throws 5 touchdown passes. Ooh.
All right, not nearly the scoring in this one. 4th-ranked Miami hosted game day in the morning. Truly a marathon for those fans, as this was a 7:30 Eastern kick. But you got the Gators in town. Gators playing for pride. Carson Beck handing off to Shamar Brown, who's in. Beck only had the 160 passing yards, no touchdown. Did have a pick, but it's 7-0 early. And then the Miami defense just doing whatever it wanted to the Gators. Allowed just 32 yards of offense in the first half. Since they joined the conference, the ACC in 04, 32 yards allowed in the first half. It's fewest allowed against a power conference opponent. Here is Jayden Baugh, however, giving the Gators a touchdown, having to reverse field in. It's a 13-7 game. That was as good as it got for a Gators offensive side that had 141 total yards. Miami had more rushing yards and more passing yards than Florida had total yards. Carson Beck back to Brown. He was also the Canes' leading receiver, 4 grabs, 53 yards, and then just dance with who brought you. Brown, 18 for 80 on the ground, and that score. First career game with multiple rushing scores. Michael Irvin is hyped. The Canes are 4-0 for the 3rd straight season.
Is the U back? We shall see. Notre Dame needs to get back in the win column. 0-2 to start the year, taking on Purdue, and they got started quickly. A little more than a minute into the game, I should say. C.J. Carr up top to Malachi Fields. Irish on the board, 7-0. They're doing flips in South Bend to celebrate the TD. Second quarter, Notre Dame leading 14-10. This time they're going to do it on the ground. Running back Jadarian Price right through that Purdue defense to the pylon, 21-10. Price had 74 yards and 3 TDs on just 9 carries. But the bell cow in the Fighting Irish backfield is this man, Jeremiah Love. A 46-yard score of his own, stiff-arming to the perimeter and beating the Purdue defense. He had 2 rushing TDs, a $157 on the ground. Notre Dame finally gets a win. They love to see it, 56-30.
Elsewhere in the ACC, Dabo, no.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Battle of Orange. Whose orange was Moss Orange? Is it Clemson or is it Syracuse? Who comes to call him Cuse? A 17.5-point dog. Clemson had won 50 straight games when favored by more than 17 points, but that's Steve Angeli to Justice Ross Simmons. 5 grabs, 53 yards for him. It was a touchdown. Cuse up 7-0. And then surprise, onside kick much.
Caught the cameraman, too.
Brian Brown, the head coach of Syracuse, goes, hey, we're trying. Oh, no, rather, we were playing to win the game. Let's see who we are. Let's see what we're about.
Coach Herm likes that.
Right? They get a field goal. They're up 10-0. And they kept throwing on him, man. Up 10 in the second quarter. It's Darrell Gill Jr. over the shoulder grab. 24-7, Syracuse has a lead. Now they got their backup quarterback in there, Ricky Collins. Ricky! And he found Ross Simmons. Third career multi-touchdown game for him. Fran Brown said, I am so excited to get back. Hopefully I can eat for free. Clemson, 1-3 for the first time since 2004, Dabo.
Disappointed, painful. I mean, hurt. I mean, I'm human. I mean, I'm not a cyborg. I mean, this is my life, man. I mean, I've been here 23 years. I love this place. I give this place the very best I got every single day. I just hurt. I mean, I hurt. I mean, I hurt, obviously, just because I take pride in what I do. But I hurt for our team, I hurt for our fans.
All right, we'll have more on Clemson's 1-3 start to the season. Paul
Finebaum, Heather Dinich with us now. And Heather, the Canes continue to roll, not only roll, but dominate their opponents. Where's Miami in your rankings after this latest dub?
They're number 1. They have a strong case for the total package. Look, there are certainly things that they can clean up. Carson back through an interception. They had 6 penalties, but the defense had 4 sacks, 7 tackles for loss, and didn't allow Florida a third down conversion. I get it. The Gators are underwhelming, underperforming, and unranked, but this was a tough, gritty rivalry game. That's something that the selection committee members pay attention to, the intangibles of that. And when you combine it with a win against Notre Dame, a win against a really good South Florida team, that gives them a case right now for the top team in the country.
And Heather, I think one reason why that makes so much sense is that watching the game, I thought Miami played fairly pedestrian, and they still simply put away their rival from up in the state. And I think that shows you what they're capable of doing down the road. I realize if you're looking from a tall building, beating Notre Dame doesn't mean as much. And of course, Florida is self-explanatory. But I think they'll get big wins later, and you have to look at what Mario Cristobal has done. And he promised a winner, and he very well has a national championship contender here.
All right, guys, Miami definitely a bright spot right now in the ACC. Meanwhile, for Clemson, it's pretty much lights out on their season. Paul, what is wrong with Dabo Swinney's program right now?
Well, first of all, I think Dabo Swinney ought to pipe down. Nobody wants to hear the woe is me routine from him. I mean, it's getting very old. Everyone knows what he's accomplished. Dabo, you don't need to remind us of that. We know. We watched the games. We saw your 2 national championships. So, Dabo, shut up, first of all, and try to get your team back in this season. Yes, there's only 8 games remaining, and your path to the playoff is about as narrow as me having a full head of hair by the 5 o'clock this afternoon. And the bottom line is this: there are so many problems, but the biggest thing to me, aside from Klubnik, is the defense. We expected them to be elite this year with edge rushers all over the place, and they have not performed. So that buck stops with Dabo Swinney.
I mean, I don't even know what to say after that. He just brought the hammer down hard. But I will say this, the buck does stop with Dabo, but listen, if there are going to be any changes after this season, it should be considered at the coordinator position with offensive coordinator Garrett Riley, because this team is underperforming. There's plenty of talent. I mean, Cade Klubnik had a good season last year. His top 3 receivers returned. To your point, the defense should be better. That's on Tom Allen. But here's the thing. I will remind people how good Clemson has been under Dabo Dabo Swinney. They played for the national title. They won the ACC last year as a 3-loss team. Dabo, I was on his press conference last night after the game, and for whatever reason, he has no explanation as to why they cannot put this together. You're right, it's on Dabo, but I also will point the blame elsewhere at the coordinators too.
Woo. Well, Paul, you're going to be back here in a few moments. We'll see if you tell anyone else to shut up. You also short out who the top team in the SEC is after that OU win. Great start, Heather and Paul. Thank you.
You know, before this season, Mr. Finebaum, along with many, high on Arch Madness, high on Arch Manning, looking for a bounce-back game against Sam Houston. Sam Houston's in town on the 5-yard line of these Longhorns, and there is Arch, and he's in. He's going to let you know about it, talking to the defender. A little swagger. Arch has got it back, up 14-0. Manning said he was worried about getting a taunting penalty.
Sam State, Arch.
He goes, my mom was pretty mad about it. I think there's some built-up frustrations for the past few weeks. Okay. He's going to air one out to Jordan Washington, who's so open, he's lonely. Third straight game with a passing touchdown and a rushing touchdown. It's 21-0. Texas scored on its first 9 possessions. Manning, that'll do. To Wingo, that'll work. Wingo, 4 grabs, 93 yards, 2 receiving touchdowns. Arch, 5 total touchdowns and 300 passing yards on 85%
SportsCenter. Taking a look at the rest of the top 10 we haven't seen thus far to start the show. How about Oregon? Number 6 in the country. It's a rivalry game, Randy.
Oh, yeah?
They used to call it the Civil War. I don't know if you can still do that, but I'm going to do it here. It was a beatdown for Oregon, 41-7. Dante Moore finding Gary Bryant Jr. Moore had 4 passing TDs, 305 yards. It was a crisp 21 of 31 through the air.
you.